Hey everybody, welcome back. Devin, the OG original Grognard's Corner, continuing our playthrough of Avalon Hill's 1983 release, Squad Leader card game, Up Front. And there are inherent risks to always playing solitaire. The largest inherent risk is that if you get a rule wrong, you usually never know about it until you watch a video or see someone else play or see it played or somehow catch it in one way, shape, form, or another. And so you usually never know you're making a mistake until you do something silly like post a video and let everybody see your mistakes for the whole world to watch, which is kind of one of the reasons you'll never see me do a solitaire gameplay of Advanced Squad Leader, as I will never be able to get through a game of that without making 1,000 mistakes, and I don't want people jumping all over my case for missing case A, point 1635, point B, case F. But there are other times, and I accept that. I know, all right, fine, whatever. As long as my opponent is cool with it, and generally, my opponent generally is cool with everything. Although I got to wonder about his mental stability, and I actually think he's an idiot at times. But, again, the hazards of playing solitaire. So, as I was saying, there are times you come across a rule that you probably think you should have gotten right from the get-go, because it is such a simple little rule. And you're kind of embarrassed that you've been playing the game wrong for 35 years, and even the other people you've played never really caught it. Moving fire. I've been doing moving fire completely wrong for close to 30 years. Come to find out, as I was playing it, you just have the firepower of the personnel cards. And that's it. Well, that's sort of right. You have the firepower of all bolt-action rifle guys, and machine guns, even if they're crude, use their bracketed number. But the biggest thing that I seem to overlook and miss is that the fire strength is also halved, rounded down. Yeah, that's kind of a big thing that I've missed over the years. So I feel kind of bad that I've kind of been pushing that information to everybody out in the last few videos about that. But semi-automatic and automatic weapons like, the MP38s and, the American carbines and Garands, which aren't bolt action, they don't get halved. Bolt actions do get halved, and the fire strength of the card is halved. Good bit of information. Probably figured I should have passed it on to everybody. A couple other things I did wrong, as I am wont to do. The wire cards I was playing last couple videos ago. Wire card is a terrain card that cannot be rejected. If you play the wire card on a group, the group has to accept it. Could have changed things a little bit. And what else was I doing? Not really a rule that I was getting wrong, but there was a suggestion. I thought it was a really good suggestion. I pass it on for a solitaire play. When you're drawing your cards back, your deckhand back up to its normal size. If you're playing solitaire, don't look at what cards you're getting until it flips back around to your next turn. So that kind of helps preserve the fog of war a little bit, because you don't know what cards you're giving yourself. So I don't remember who gave that suggestion, but that's actually a really good suggestion. I'm not going to do it in this game, but I probably will start doing that in future gameplays. So we need to I think we're going to probably be finishing this video. The Soviets can only afford to lose one more guy, and they've got a couple broken guys over there. So let's see what happens. So we're back to the German turn, and what do we got here? Well, I think we're going to pull the Rally 3 first, because we got a couple pin guys here. Get them. And what do we got? We got a Fire 5, and I don't think I have anybody that can generate that type of firepower. I got Group B under a movement card, so let's go ahead and pop them into the woods. Get them out from underneath the movement card. No rally. But we do have a sniper card. We have not seen any sniper cards in hand yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this sniper card. And sniper cards have to be played as part of your discard. So Germans can do one sniper attack per turn and still do actions. U.S. and Soviets can't do any actions if they want to do a sniper because it counts as their discard. So we're going to go ahead and play that right there. Now, we have to determine, since the sniper is a random position check, this is one of the biggest random position checks that you'll make. Again, you just draw a card. We got 3 enemies in the deck. Now, we got a building card. Now, remember, we had to discard the first 5 building cards as cower cards. Unfortunately, we've already done that, so we actually do have building cards in here. But we take a look at the random position number, and there's 3 guys in the group. So number 2, it's the second guy that's actually going to be taking the sniper shot. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you take a look at the card, you've got KIA of 6 and a pin of 4/5. So you just draw a random card, or draw a card, and you take a look at the number. The color doesn't matter. All right, so we got a 4, which is a 4 or a 5, which is part of the pin number, 4 to 5. So the sniper actually manages to pin him. Now, the Russians get to do a sniper check to see if they can wipe out the sniper. I gotta see if that's part of their action. Oh yeah, it has to be all unpinned. Let me check real quick. Sniper check. First and sole action of the group fired on by the sniper in the immediately following player turn may attempt to locate and remove the sniper with a sniper check, providing he has an armed, not secondary weapon, unpinned, and unpinned man in the group. So it has to be the first thing he does on the next action, on the next turn. So we're not to the Soviet turn yet, so I'm not going to worry about it quite yet. And that's pretty much it, because that was my discard. So I've got 2 cards. I can discard another one. Let's go ahead and get... Oh, no, that one. The sniper card was the discard. So let's go ahead and pull 1, a 2, a 3. Still not good stuff. All right, so back into the Soviets. First thing they have to do is do the sniper check. They don't have an unpinned man in Group 1, so they can't do the sniper check. So it's right back to, did I not draw? I don't think I drew a card. Yeah, I must not have drawn a card for the Soviets last turn. All right, so what do we got? Concealment, movement, brush. Well... we're not sure I want to move those guys, though. If I move them, I don't want... I'm in the open, for one. And be under a movement card. And we don't want those 2 groups being able to blast away at me. But I think what we wanted to do was did we want to try to get Group B a little bit forward so we could start lateral transfers, individual transfers to Group A? Well, you know, at this point, the only way the Soviets can win... Well, no, because they can only lose one guy. I think the Soviets may have to just try to shoot it out with the Germans. The problem is, they don't want to get too much... You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, I totally missed. This is a flank card. Let me check flank real quick. Okay. Lateral flanking fire can originate at any relative range from a group who last played flank movement card, was played sideways, and remains in play at the end of the turn at which it was played, including play in marsh, gully, successful fording of stream. When playing a flank movement card in this manner, the player must specify an adjacent opposing enemy group which it is flanking by placing a flank fire chit on the opposing group with the arrow of the chit coming from the direction of the group which is flanking, yada yada. A group can flank only an adjacent enemy group whose ID precedes or follows its own letter in the alphabet. Cannot laterally flank a group which it currently enjoys a flanking fire advantage over. May only choose one group to flank fire. And then there's natural flanking fire. Flanking fire is lost when another movement card or a wire card, not a terrain, is placed on top of the flanking group. Lost whenever a terrain card is placed on the flanked group, even if successfully rejected. Flanking fire is lost whenever a defending group plays a movement card. Flanking fire is lost if either group is eliminated. And what's the benefits for flanking fire? All fire against an... what does it do? Yeah, get the flanking fire. Well, what is the flanking fire? Oh, group entitled to flanking fire doubles its firepower for all subsequent fires against the flank defending group until one of the following circumstances occurs. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and play a flank card laterally, so we can get a lateral flanking fire, and we're just gonna flank. Which one do we want to flank? You know, I'm hoping those guys will rally soon, so I think they're going to flank these guys. Now, since the card is played laterally, there is no change of relative range chit. So, yeah, granted, they're under a movement card, but they went laterally, so there was no decrease of relative range. So that doesn't change any. And they got a brush card that they can jump into next turn, so... But they really can't take advantage of... You know what? I'm not going to do that, actually. I don't have any fire cards to follow up against, so I'm not going to do that. And now this is an odd card. This is a split card. It is a concealed card and a movement card for the Soviets. You can see the star for both of them. You know what? I think the Soviets, since they're not doing any actions, they're going to discard their entire hand. Yeah, I'm getting rid of a couple of concealed cards, but I need some rally cards, and I need some fire cards. So we'll give that up. What do we end up with? Well, we got a better concealment. We got a movement and a brush. We got a fire 17, although I doubt... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, that's 17. I can't generate that even at point blank range. And no rally cards. Wonderful. All right. So, what do the Germans have? You know what? The Germans... let's see what they got. They got a firepower 13 card. Can they generate 13 firepower at anybody? Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, Group B can generate 13 fire at relative range 5, and the only thing that's at relative range 5 to them right now is Group A. Let's see about Group C. They're at relative range 5 to Group B as well, so 9, 10, 11, 12. No, they can't generate. So you know what? Yeah. These guys are going to go ahead and generate 13. They actually have 14 firepower. I'm not under a movement card, so I don't have to worry about that. So it's going to be 5 minus 1 for lateral fire against a wall is 4. And the Soviets are going to play the concealed 3. So that brings it down to a firepower or fire strength 1. Annoying because the Germans were hoping to finish them off. So 1 plus 4 is 5. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's his panic. Although, let's see. Berserk. They are at relative range 5 to somebody. Route is greater. Okay, so it's the route number at relative range 5 was not under 3. So, yeah, he's going to go ahead and route. Let's go ahead and finish out the last two. 1 plus 1 is 2. He's okay on panic. And 1 minus 2 is -1, so he is fine on panic. However... that was the 8th man lost, which puts them over the 50%, which lets the Germans win. And that's game. that is game right there. I hope everybody enjoyed, barring my foobars and flubs and mistakes that I made, and especially with the moving fire. But yeah, that's just kind of a quick, easy look. If there's any demand in the future, I may go over like tanks and artillery and some more of the later case special rules in it. Like I said, it's probably one of my funnest games, even though I don't know all the rules to it. It's one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. You can still pick up copies of the Action Deck, and honestly, I mean, I love that I've got the original Action Deck still, but you know, it's 25, 30 years old. I do, in the future, do want to order a new Action Deck, and I actually want to get that. There are 3 Action Decks that Wargamers Vault sells. They sell the standard Action Deck, and then they sell 2 other Action Decks, one for the desert and one for the jungle. And the terrain cards, basically the only change is that, and the terrain cards are physically changed, because I think in Desert War, woods become, or not in Desert War, in Banzai, you know, with the Japanese in the Pacific, you know, all woods cards become jungle, so, you know, they changed the jungle card to that, and I think gullies turn into wadis and for the desert, but there are terrain changes. Plus, I think the Action Decks are kind of more themed for a Desert War or a Pacific War, so, you know, there's 3 different Action Decks you can get. And this is if you have the spare money and are really, really, really into the game and just want an easier way to remember what terrain cards are what little minor changes happen because of whatever theater you're playing in. So yeah, I would recommend getting those. I think that's all I got. Not sure what I'm going to be jumping into next. I may be jumping back into the Advanced Tobruk system. I'm going to hit up a few people, see what they would like to see me do. Plus, as always, anybody can sign. Well, not sign up. Can post in the comment section what you would like to see me do. Now, not any guarantee, because I mean my library is, you know, even though I've been trying to restock it for the last couple 3 years, my library is, you know, still less than half of what it was when I got out of the service. Of course, there's always Vassal. I can always do something on Vassal if I can find the rules for it online. But yeah, if anybody wants to see me play something that I've got, go ahead, leave me a comment. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. And I'll see everybody next time. See ya!